Is it worth being in the car business? I estimate your yearly income to be about 200K. How is that even worth it considering how many hours you put in?
This is a deep question. Is it worth still being a car dealer? I don't like selling cars. So so for me, is it worth being a car dealer? If I had to go back and start this thing all over again and go from ground zero and have to build up a business, hire people, go through everything that's involved in growing the business, I would not do it again right now, how things stand. With all that being said though, like we have a great team and my business kind of runs itself. I still put a lot of hours in. I still have to show up at the shop and then cover if somebody's on vacation. We just recently had that. So I was at the shop a lot more. I hate it. I hate it. I always need to be going, and I don't want to just sit around and wait for customers. So I wouldn't do that again. I still go to the auctions. I still buy cars. I still wrench on cars every once in a while. If somebody breaks down, I still go have to. It was what 3 weeks ago we had a car breakdown on the middle of a highway, and me and Alex had to go and push it off in 95-degree weather, and that's no fun. Like there's a lot of situations that pop up, a lot of decisions that need to make, a lot of sweat, tears that go into running just a small business in general. Not even adding in that we're dealing with these cheap used cars that just break all the time. So um, uh, I feel like I'm saying no to a lot of this. But what I was getting back to is because we have the team set up like we do, and because that the business can pretty much run by itself. I'm fine staying in it while it is, because we still make money, and I do think that it's not all about the money. I'm not going to get rich doing this, and I know that, and my wife knows this, and she's still with me, and that's a great thing. But we also feel like we're providing a service for people that's not out there. There's no, I mean, nowhere that I've seen where you can go and buy a used car for $3,000 and not pay a doc fee and not get shoved a ridiculous warranty in your face. We don't have any fees. We don't charge a doc fee. If someone sees a $3,000 car on our lot, that's what they pay for. And I feel like we're doing something more than what's just about the money. Yeah, there's a lot of hassle. Yeah, we have cheap cars, so we have to deal with all the things that come along with cheap cars. Yeah, we have customers that aren't well off, so we have to deal with all the things that come off with customers that aren't well off. So all of that's a hassle. It's all a struggle. And no, we're not going to make a lot of money doing it, and I'm okay with it. I don't need a lot of money. I like to be comfortable, and we like to do things that do cost some money, but we're not extravagant by any means. We don't have some mansion. We don't have really 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 expensive cars. Like we're comfortable how we live. We stay out of debt, and I mean fundamentally, I think we're living good lives, and we're also able to provide something that no one else wants to provide. And there's a good reason why no one else wants to provide, because it's hard. It's hard to run the business that we run, and there's not a lot of reward for it. But our rewards come from more things than just money. So, is it worth it? No, it's not worth it. But for us, we think we're doing a good thing. We're also providing stable income for all of our employees, our team, and that means a lot to us too. So, is it worth it? No, it's not worth it. But I think we're doing a good thing.
I want to add to that answer if that's okay.
No, it's not worth it.
It's not, and that's why it's not at all. No, because the thing is it is a lot of work that you can't grow with, and it's one of the things that we talk about. I mean, things will happen in life. You might not know what's going to happen. It's going to be expensive, so you need to be prepared for it. You need to be prepared for retirement, and that's something else that we talk about. It's not just about being out of debt. It's also about being ready for when you can't make money, and that eventually happens. So I don't think that we would be doing it if it wasn't for the fact that we found other ways to be smart with money. And so YouTube is one of them. We sold our house when prices were up years ago, made money there. So it's like we're not only living on the car lot. So that's the reason why it is worth it, is that we're not putting all of our eggs in that basket.
Yeah, and we get the freedom of being our own bosses too, and that's worth a lot.
Sometimes it does not feel like freedom.
Yeah,
Just say
I mean,
That's not always freedom.
we are still a slave to ourselves and how far we want to push ourselves. And I mean, I'm a go getter, and I'm a doer, and I want to do a lot. So I am a slave to the level, like the level that I hold myself accountable for. So that does become difficult. But your question is it worth it? And the answer is no. Still no. All right.
I feel like that covered it.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself selling EVs in the future?
So the problem with EVs is that it's going to be a very long time before they get into the realm of being able to be in the range of what my customer can actually afford. Right now, we're $5,000 and under, and I know that's a moving target because. I mean, it used to be $3,500 and under, then it got to $4,000 and under, and now we're sitting at $5,000 and under. So that number will continuously go up as inflation does the thing that inflation does, as the value of our currency devaluates itself, and government and all these things that you guys like to yell in the comments. You know what I'm saying? That's not this topic, right? So we're talking about EVs here, and we're talking about the price ranges of what my customers will actually be able to afford. And I think it's going to be just a very long time. But then you got to think about, okay, well, when these used EVs get into the realm of being cheap enough that my customer can actually afford it, are they going to be garbage? Are the batteries going to hold up? And from what we've seen in the 10 to 15 year sample size that we have now of EVs, is that some makes and models, the batteries hold up very well. There are some Model 3s, some Model S's where batteries are lasting 300, 350,000 miles. And in those cases, with a Model 3 of the batteries that are good, that get to these higher ranges, then maybe we'll start being able to sell some of those maybe in 7-8 years from now. But even when you think about that, you got to also think about, okay, the charging mechanisms that go into owning an EV. And now with me, I have a Tesla Model S, and I really like it. And I charge in my garage, and it's easy. As soon as I park it, I've got my fast charger right beside of it, plug it in. It's like a cell phone. I'm done. But most of my customers aren't in a situation where they have a garage where they can actually park their car in. A lot of them rent, or they are in an apartment, and you would have to run a drop cord, or the apartments have to be set up to actually be able to charge EVs. And the problem with that is that a lot of my consumers are just not going to have that ease to be able to charge like most people who actually own EVs. So that's an added level of complication. And I foresee that that's going to be probably the bigger obstacle than price. Price is probably going to be a problem also. And in a lot of cases, there are a lot of people out there that even if they like EVs, they want an EV, it's not their only car. And a lot of my consumers, when they're buying the cars that are cheaper, and they're the lower end of the spectrum here, they don't have the capability of having multiple cars. They have to buy one car, and that's their car. So if they're even contemplating going on any kind of road trip, any kind of vacation where they don't have to pull over and have to do a charge. Now, maybe technology is way better later on where the charging will be a lot faster. There's an argument for that. But for what we are currently seeing from EVs right now, for a lot of these consumers, an EV will not be their only vehicle. And I can tell you, for my wife and I, for our daily drivers, I have my Model S, but she has a Honda Odyssey, a gas Honda. Well, the only gas Honda. I don't know if they have a plug-in Honda Odyssey. Beside the point, we would not have our only vehicle at our house be an EV. We like to go on trips. If we're driving 3 or 4 hours away and we don't know if there's a charging situation there, like there's no situation where we're taking my Tesla, we're going to drive her van every single time. I would not only have an EV as my only vehicle. With saying all these things, I think if you look at who my customer actually is, what they can afford, what their living situations are, and they can only have one car, then I think an EV is probably not going to be a viable solution for a majority, not all, but for a majority of my customers. So in the next 5, 10 years, if I'm even a dealer at that point, I don't think that's going to be something that's viable for my car lot for the customers that I serve.
Regarding your repeat customers, how often do they buy?
So I don't have actual statistics on how many times they come back and buy cars. I can tell you that we've had families that buy like 9 and 10 cars from us. Not necessarily the one person, but we'll have a whole family where every car that they drive in a 5-person family, they all bought it from us, and then they have relatives that buy from us. We have. It's been a while, but there was one point where our repeats and our referrals made up like 42% of our actual sales, and it's probably not that far off of what we do right now. I would say it's probably lower now because we do more volume than what we did back then. But I would guess we're probably in the 30% of the actual cars that we sell are either repeat or referral cars. And it's just because we're not in a small town. We're not in a big city. We're in a medium-sized city outside of a big metro area. We're just known as the spot for cheap cars. I mean, we've been doing it now for 14 years. We started in one small town, and then we moved into the city that was next to it that's bigger. But we had a lot of customers follow us from that little town. They come over and they say, okay, well, I bought this car from you 7 years ago. It's been great, and I want to buy another one. I noticed you weren't in your other spot, but I just looked you up online, and I noticed you're just 15 minutes up the road. And we get a lot of that. And one big thing is you can buy a car from us, not go into debt, and you can own a car outright for like $3,500. You just can't find that anywhere else. So we're going to have customers that stay in the same financial situation for whatever reason, that they're going to continue to buy cars from us until they either get into their next financial situation or they get into a worse. And most of our customers, it's the lower scale of things. So it's going to be difficult for a lot of them to jump into the next tier. And we're there for them if whenever they need their next car. You got to think too, even though we have lots of repeats and referrals, we still sell really, 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 really cheap cars, and we're not expecting these cars, a $3,500 car, it's not going to last you 5 years. That's my expectation. A lot of our customers have gotten very lucky. They take care of the cars. They can make them last longer than that. But my expectation was I sell a customer a car, it's an A to B car, and it's not going to last forever. So in a lot of cases, maybe that helps our repeats and referrals because they'll drive a car for 3-4 years. It'll blow up, and then they'll come buy another $3,000, $3,500 car. But even after that car blows up, they scrap it, whatever, after 3 or 4 years, they're still in a better situation than going and buying a new car or even a couple-year-old car where they're paying $550 to $850 a month. In a lot of cases, if they can get our cars to last 5 or 6 months, then they're making money on the other side of that versus someone who's buying a brand new car and paying all of that interest to have that nice new flashy thing and paying someone else to be able to have the money to do it. But yeah, a lot of our customers, repeats, referrals, and I don't have the exact percentage now, but it seems like every week a handful of the customers that we get in have either bought a car from us before or they know somebody that has. And what I hope too is that the experience that we give them when they're actually in our shop. We had a lady in there the other day. We sold a car to. She liked the experience, and she said that she had a friend that was looking for a van. She's going to let them know about us, that we have a van sitting out there for $4,000. That would be in her price range. And that's I know that's not really how a lot of businesses do things anymore. Word of mouth is not really a thing. The internet's how you find cars, but it's still important to us, and it's still a big part of our business. And if we didn't have those repeats and we didn't have those referrals, we probably wouldn't be able to make the kind of money that we're making at our dealership. So it is still very important. So it's important for us to give not only a good product to our customer, one that is going to last them hopefully a very long time, but also for a really good price, cheap price. I know a lot of you don't like me to say that my cars are cheap. They're affordable. They're cheap cars. That's what we say. We're not trying to sugarcoat anything, and a lot of our customers, they like that. And we make sure that we let them know, get it checked out by your mechanic. You are buying a cheap car. Cheap cars have things wrong with them, things that break, so they know what they're getting into before they get into it. Expectations go a long way with our customers and how we actually sell our products, and that's we want to make sure that the expectations are going to align with the actual product that they're getting. And hopefully they get a car that lasts them a long time, and then they come back and buy another one or let somebody else know. And that's what we try to make at my dealership.
Data update. I don't have the specifics in front of me, but it hasn't been that long since I looked, and it was more than a fourth, less than a third of our sales were repeat or referrals for the last year-ish. And the reason why that would go down, partly from what you're talking about, which was a long time ago, is because we pay for more advertising. So that's going to add to that number. So, I mean, that's a big one.
But right now,
slowly added advertising.
Right around 30% then?
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, pretty close to that. I think it was high 20s or right at 30%.
And think about what we're doing. We're selling cars that are under $5,000. So for us to have 30% of those people come back or tell somebody else and they come buy a car, I think that's a feat. A lot of like we have a 4.3 star rating on Google. Just one, for it to be a used car dealership that has 4.3 stars, that's good. And then think about the cars that we're selling. I think that's fantastic. I've seen a lot in comments where they look up our Google rating like 4.3 stars. I'd be ashamed. No, I'm proud of that. I don't know. I don't understand how you get ashamed. Like there's 4.3 out of 5 is in my head outstanding. We sell cheap cars. There's going to be problems at some point. There's going to be expectations that aren't met with cheaper cars, and we're going to have bad reviews at some point. It's nature of the beast. But to have 4.3 stars with the stuff that we deal with, yeah, I'm pretty proud of that.
Yep. I agree.
And just like that, Google ratings are everything, and I agree with that completely. Because someone finds one of your cars, and they go straight to your Google page and to look that stuff up. And I know that that's what they're going to do. So I'm actually proud of the reviews that we have.